happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Say we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down just by that title alone. You're definitely going to see this one as we have Walz absolutely slipping up in this newest update, accidentally saying the quiet part out loud, starts bashing Kamala Harris at his latest rally, guys. I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, guys. Take a look at this. I wanted to show you guys this clip right here and just key in on the motion, the gestures, and the body language of Tim. I mean, like, I'm not trying to by no means am I trying to stretch this or, you know, spin it to be something like it's not. But guys, just look at his body language and his tongue right here. I'm not sure what he does when he lifts these hands up in the air. He starts like doing a weird motion with his mouth, and it gets me a little nervous, like he's almost grinding around. And just I'll let you guys get a second look. Like he sticks his tongue out right there. Did you guys see him? Like he sticks his tongue out. And then he points the other way when he lets this guy's hands go. And then he grabs his back. I don't know what is going on here. I mean, this is a really hard clip to break down. It just seems like Walz. And what I'm trying to key in on, what I'm really trying to get to is, I've dealt with a lot of, you know, substance abuse, drug abuse. When I've seen, you know, the telltale signs, you know, something's going on. It just seems like he points, starts grabbing everybody, claps and points the other way. I mean, it just seems like there is something else going on in the background, and I'm just going to say that was just his motions right there. It didn't make sense. And this tweet was tweeted out by at Trump War Room on X. You guys definitely go check them out. And then we got Walz accidentally saying the quiet part out loud. Folks, I definitely had to show you this one right here. Listen to Walz, and I feel like, you know, that's his subconscious getting out the truth, just saying, hey man, just admit it. We can't do this, man. We can't be here. Listen to it.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
I mean, hey, we cannot afford 4 more. If you look at what's going on right now, the state of our economy, the state of our country, honestly, we're in dire need of a true leader. Is what he's saying to himself. You know, he knows that he's a soy boy. He definitely is not the guy who's going to be able to put the pants on, put the boots to the ground, and lead our country. Next to this lady Kamala Harris, who is just an absolute phony and a fake, just as much as he is. They know they're not capable. Walz right here accidentally saying the quiet part out loud, admitting it, finally coming out with the truth, man. Hey, man, I'm proud of him, man. That's kudos to him. All right, check this out. I just wanted to show you how they just are so contradictory, and they're kind of gaslighty. You know, the way they lie and try to push the narrative to say that it's never them throwing the sticks and stones. It's always Donald Trump and his supporters. Look at this, guys.
Donald Trump yesterday called us the enemy. I would never call them the enemy.
I mean,
Donald Trump yesterday called us the enemy. I would never call them the enemy.
That's a bold-faced lie, guys. I mean, the amount of hate. I mean, heck, their rhetoric, their dangerous rhetoric is what's led to Donald Trump having 2 attempts on his life. I mean, come on. And he's trying to come out and say that he would never call Donald Trump the enemy. I mean, come on, get out of here with that. It's a bunch of baloney. I'm not getting on board or agreeing with anything. That's just how they go on the left. You know, they throw all these stones, they throw all these jabs and stuff. And the second you kind of jab back at them, they're like, oh my gosh, you see, this is exactly what I was talking about. He's angry, he's dangerous, he's a danger to our society. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of stuff we need to get rid of, and that's why I keep trying to wake folks up. Like, you cannot support these fakes, these phonies. I mean, this whole victim card or, you know, playing the victim thing has to go. No one wants the leader of the free world to be a victim. I mean, imagine what you do on the world stage with world leaders. You're gonna play the victim then? I mean, come on. This is what they're putting up, guys. Take a look at this, man. JD Vance absolutely going in.
Now, it's not just grocery prices. It's everything is more expensive in this country. Americans cannot afford to live a good life in this country because of Kamala Harris's policies. It's crazy. Now think about this. Donald Trump and I believe in a very simple principle, that if you work hard and play by the rules, you ought to be able to get ahead in this country that all of us love. Isn't that simple?
Come on now. Come on now.
That is right, man. That is the American dream. And you know, one of the most critical parts of the American dream is being able to afford a home. And right now, thanks to Kamala Harris's policies, homes are skyrocketing. Mortgage interest rates are as high as they've been in a generation, and a lot of young Americans feel like they cannot afford a home in this country, and I think that's disgraceful.
Come on
One
now.
of the reasons why we got to get Donald Trump back in the White House is because we want young Americans to be able to afford to own a stake in this country, and they will when we get Donald Trump back.
Come on now. That's why, hey, JD Vance, man, he always comes out heating it up. I wasn't really familiar with his craft, man, but Donald Trump went ahead and selected him as his running mate, his VP choice. It was kind of a shocker to me. I did a little research. I started seeing JD Vance do an interview on CNN, interview on MSNBC, and he was absolutely, I'm talking about tearing these folks to shreds, having his way with these reporters. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I think I'm a fan of JD Vance, man. He is for the people. He knows what the American people want. You know, he knows what our country needs. And that just, you know, that's a real leader for you right there. That nothing like Tim Walz. Tim Walz could never get up there and actually point out the problems and say, hey, I know how we can address this. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris truly aspire to be a leader like JD Vance, guys. Check this out. JD Vance does not stop there. Listen to it.
Eggs, when Kamala Harris took office, were short of $1.50 a dozen. Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies. Pennsylvania actually has seen some of the worst grocery price increases of the entire nation. And again, it's because she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Explosion Act. I think we want Pennsylvanians to be able to afford groceries. We want our young families to be able to buy food at a reasonable price at the grocery store. And the only way to do that is to get back to common sense economic policies and fire Kamala Harris. This is a person who's presided over a $1,000 increase in monthly expenses just to afford the same life you could have afforded 3.5 years ago. It costs you over $1,000 a month here in Pennsylvania. We can do so much better. We certainly will. And as the father of a couple of kids who eat a whole lot, we certainly need to do better for the next generation. God bless you guys. Eggs when.
Come on now. We can't afford 4 more years of this. Our pockets can't afford 4 more years. I think I'm going under, y'all. I'm going under if we get 4 more years of Kamala. That's all I mean. I feel like a lot of Americans out there are thinking the same thing. Like, I don't know how much longer I can keep our heads above water. We're all fighting, struggling to keep our heads above water. And we got Kamala Harris preaching a new way forward when she's still in Joe Biden's policies. I mean, how is there still folks out there willing to hand the vote over? Like, yeah, take my vote. That's just like, come on. It really just disappoints me. Just the lack of basic knowledge on your candidate. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. These guys will vote and not even know a thing about the candidate, guys. Check out what Donald Trump had to say, and we'll end it here.
Everyone knows that Kamala Harris cannot explain how she would make your life better because it's really her policies that have destroyed this country in the last 3 years. She was the border czar. Now she says she wasn't the border czar. It doesn't matter. She was in charge of the border, put there by sleepy Joe Biden. He wanted to go to the beach. She said, I don't have time. I got to go to the beach and sleep. Who the hell sleeps on camera? You have cameras watching. I don't want to ever fall asleep on live television. Kamala Harris cost your family $28,000 in higher prices. Last month alone, she lost, think of this, last month they lost in this country 438,000 full-time jobs. That's a government number, including 24,000 manufacturing jobs. That's last month. And the interest rates are lowered for political reasons, but they're also lowered because the country is not doing well. We would rather have you as president. Think of this. If you would rather have me as president or, okay, let's do this. Let's do a poll. You ready? Who wants Trump as president? I'm shocked.
I'm shocked.
Is there anyone brave enough to raise your hand? Who wants Kamala as president? I'm looking for one brave soul. That would be very brave. Who would you rather have as your president? Radical liberal Kamala Harris, who created the worst economy in your life. That's the worst economy that we've ever had under them, or the businessman who created the greatest economy in the history of our country and in the history of the world. We created the greatest.
I mean, come on, y'all. It's common sense. At this point, it's common sense. I mean, it sounds silly he's asking these questions, but I mean, seriously, you have to ask these questions. I want to start asking to the folks on the left who are in support of Kamala. When you see a Kamala Harris supporter, you ask her about these radical, dangerous, radical, liberal policies of Kamala Harris, her past administrative failures. Ask them about her track record as a district attorney in San Francisco. I mean, hold their feet to the fire on, giving away their vote essentially to just anybody is what it seems like. Donald Trump is laying out the most common sense campaign. So definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.